This is idiogrid, which is a program that works on the basis of helping people to elicit firstly their role constructs. These are reference points in our lives and how we decide that we're going to make decisions based on previous experience by matching our behaviors and our perceptions against other people that we've come across in life. And the first stage is to determine the roles or role constructs that are important in our life. Now the clip here, you'll see that the software provides ready-made ones and you can use codes instead of the actual sentences. And what I'm suggesting is that we would not use the roles that the software supplies, but actually have a list of around 15 or so kind of people described and presented to the participants, and to see how closely they think that they are to these people. And we could have, for example, the one typing up now is someone who helped me to be a teacher. So we're going to basically have various people who helped them on the journey to become a teacher, then a science teacher, then a teacher who does a lot of practical work, a teacher who does a lot of work on skills. And so we might call those sort of positive roles. Then we also have negative roles, because they are equally as important. This method is interesting because it takes account of the things that we're not as well as the things we are, and that's sometimes missing very often in interviews and questionnaires. So we can draw in the theory that's used is called role construct or personal construct psychology, or PCP. And it's used in, for example, it's used in business to determine suitability for employment. A lot of the kind of questionnaires and tests that new employees are given in corporate entities, even in things like, for example, Lloyd's, they use a PCP instrument to determine suitability of an employee. Med schools often use questionnaires of this sort. So we do have a kind of a precedent. It's not a completely off the wall thing to try and do. We have a precedent, and there's a huge body of research to back this up. I think ultimately, with our level 2, what we're trying to do, I suppose, is get people to move beyond just merely doing science, doing it in a mechanistic way, following protocols in a very facile manner, doing very basic lessons. We're trying to get them to move beyond that to thinking at a deeper level, to reflect, to engage with the skills aspect of the curriculum, and to integrate the various aspects, to take seriously the idea of the spiral curriculum, and then to look at integration of other subjects. And so we can use as our roles that we type in various types of people who either do those things, the things that we would like people to do, and then there are people who do not do those things, and we wouldn't show them in the interview how who these would be. So what happens is so we spend, you can see at the first 10, 12 minutes just determining the roles, and what we need to do really is, I suppose, is to actually thrash out the list of roles that or the types of people that we think would make good, bad, or indifferent teachers or participants in our level 2 project. Then following that, what happens is then we look at the, how 2 or 3 of these can be grouped together, and there's an iterative grouping process that takes place, and then what happens is that will build up to produce a picture. Now the thing is that this we can do this in 2 ways. Is that we can force present characteristics as to why different roles are different, or we can allow the people to do their own personalized, I suppose, arrangement of characteristics. The second one, where the participant makes their own personalized range of characteristics, that is much more difficult then to compare to someone else's, because it's extremely personal. But it could be the case that we can guide the participant to do that. So I think that's the thing where we really need to sort of think on that, and so I don't think we're quite ready to put in this ethics form unless we can actually sort of say, well, look, we'll we can put in a list of roles, a list of characteristics, and say that teachers will work with these. All right. I can't see how we can put into the ethics form the actual the schedule, because you can see this doesn't really form a simple schedule. But anyway, I hope you can work with this idea. It does develop very rich data that we can do interesting things with. So I hope you'll go with this. Okay, thanks.